Howdy you guys, it is Bryanna. I wanted to record another video for you guys basically about the Meps process. Now that I've gone through it, I thought I'd share my experience. For Meps, it's like the military entrance processing, what's the S stand for? Now, when you go to Meps, you either are going for the first time or you could be going because you're gonna ship out. So you go to Meps 2 times in your military experience, usually. You go the first time to take your ass up to go to medical, and then if you say yes at the end of it, boom, you're enlisted until you ship out to boot camp. Right before you go to boot camp, you're gonna go right back to Meps. They're gonna make sure you're exactly the way you were when you first said yes, then you'll be sent off to boot camp. Prior to actually going to like the actual Meps experience, I guess I would give like the hotel experience. I stayed the night there, my recruiter went in with me, I signed my name, and I kind of saw other people. So I went up to my room, I ended up clicking with my roommate. I believe she was also going Navy. We ended up, you know, going to dinner. They feed you. Food was pretty good. I'm not really picky about my food, so I enjoyed it. It was like pasta and salad, and I was like, let's go. So the time it was time to go to bed, she was studying her ASVAB book, and I was just like, maybe I should study because I hadn't been studying. I started practicing some problems, and then after I really couldn't get some of them, I started looking up most popular formulas, and I kind of got the hang of things. So I was like, okay, cool. I was not able to fall asleep that night, probably stayed up till 2 or 3, something like that, and I finally fell asleep, and I want to say they woke us up at 5, and then I believe by like 5:30 you had to be downstairs eating breakfast because by like 5:45 or 6 you're like on the bus. Something around that time, really early in the morning. Me and my roommate were a little late. We rushed eating breakfast, and then they loaded us up onto these buses. People who were shipping out to their boot camps, they were kind of like in the beginning, and they called the rest of us in order. We went onto the bus, and it's just like a quick drive over to the Meps station. So for Meps, basically, it's every single branch, and the way I remember it was, I actually think we had like our paperwork already. I think I had my paperwork already because I was supposed to hold on to something, remember? So everybody was kind of, I think, nervous. We're just like holding our papers and waiting, and we're all sitting there. My turn, and they called me in, and we took a table, it had a computer. I sat down, and they're like, okay, read the instructions, and you can begin testing. It took, I think, like 3.5 hours. It's exhausting. If you've taken the SAT, I would say it's kind of similar. You don't know your score immediately. You kind of finish, and you're left waiting, and then from there, they sent me to medical. Medical is like this long process. They prick your finger, they make you pee in the cup, they check all of you, they do an examination. At one point they even put you in a room and you're in your bra and underwear. You can't wear fancy bra, can't wear fancy underwear, and you just have to look really neutral. They make you do like a couple of walks. It's weird. There was this duck walk, and I almost couldn't do it. I was like, oh gosh, it's like a weird squat, and I was like, I don't know if I'm not gonna be able to go. They were just making sure, like, you know, your body is okay, I guess. Like, you're basically sitting there waiting when you're done with medical with your packet. Medical is the big deal. That's where you want to hear like, okay, you made it through medical. They called my name, they called me up, and you know, they were like, congratulations, go ahead and go on to your military branch's office. And I was like, great, thank you so much. And I took my little packet, and I went to my office. Basically, it's this big open room with a bunch of seats in it, and there's like little doors to the smaller rooms, and like every single door had the branch name on it. So it was like the Army, and then it was, I think, the Marines, and then the Navy, and then the Air Force. So it was just like, might have been, I don't know. All I know was my Navy door was like right here. I think they were just like, okay, we're gonna now start the process of trying to look for your jobs, so just go ahead and get lunch, and then you can come back. So I went and I had the lunch, and it was like a sandwich and some chips and a drink. That sandwich was the best sandwich of my life. I don't know if it's because I was hungry, I was exhausted, I had just finished testing. It was banging. I loved it. It was great. It was delicious. I ate the whole thing. So I was like calling my recruiter, and I was like, I don't know my score. Tell me my score. He's like, all right, I'm gonna try to find out. And then I went into the other room, the big room, to sit there and wait. Everybody got called in. Everybody was getting their sheets of paper and stuff like that. Finally, it was my turn, and they had one job. I was out there for literally like 2 hours just sitting. They printed out one job that I didn't want, and I was just like, this is not the job I want. So my recruiter, he was like, Molina, you have to trust me. I can get you a different job. Decided to go through with it, even though it wasn't the job I wanted. And worst case scenario, if he didn't get me another job, I decided I was gonna be happy with that one. Make sure you're happy with the job that you get, that you signed for, that you're contracted into, because God forbid, a recruiter didn't come through and he didn't get me a new job. That was the job I enlisted for. That was the job I was gonna go for. He did end up switching it for me, but that's later. Sent me to the front desk, and from there, they sent me to like 2 other places. I went to go sit with a lady, and she asked questions, and afterwards she then said, okay, thank you very much, and then she like got my fingerprints. I ended up having to go back a second time later. I think my nails were too long, so when I went the second time, they didn't have like the little one that you stick your hand. My whole finger was just flat, and I did everyone individually. That solved that problem. When we first loaded up onto the bus, there was at least 20-30 people. We were going to different branches, and we were all here to basically go through the same process. Go to take the ASVAB, go to medical, and get cleared, and then enlist. So out of all these people, only 5 of us were left, and we then got taken into a separate room where we just sat down and we were all kind of quiet, and then a lady came in and she basically was just like practicing what we were gonna say. She's like, you're gonna raise your right hand, and this is what you're gonna say. We practiced the swear-in 2 times, and then she was like, okay, when I come back in, get ready for the real thing. Back in after she left us for a few minutes, and we walked out. We walked into the small little room at the front. We raised our right hand and we swore in. My mom wasn't there, my recruiter was there, so I was like, I need one favor. So I got one picture from Meps, smiling in front of the Navy flag, sent it to my mom, and she was really happy, and that was my Meps experience. So they gave me this bag, and I was like, oh my god, holy Navy. I like opened it up, and I have most of the stuff that they gave me. I can't find my water bottle. I drink a lot of water, so I don't use it because it's small. It was in my car, and now I can't find it. It's like this big, and it just says America's Navy, proud parent of a sailor. This is for my mother. Me like this little folder to put all of my papers into. I did, so there's my papers. They give you also a hat, and I have to wear this along with, oh, they gave me a shirt. I'll go get the shirt. This is the shirt that they give you. It says Department of Navy, Navy on the back. The last thing that they did give me, but mine is destroyed, so that's why I'm showing it last, is the START guide. This is your study guide to making it through boot camp. I had it in a backpack, a different one, not this one, and I had it with my note cards, and it got soaked. So it's literally ruined. Some of them open, but other ones don't. So it's ruined, but thank God, before it got ruined, I already had made flashcards. So, okay, so at the very back of the book, it has like bullet points that I looked at. So for every single bullet, I went ahead. This isn't all of it, hold on, in my dinner orders. This is like my stack. It's huge. Overall tips, I guess, just to end, get sleep. Like, it was terrible testing with no sleep. I was aware that I was tired when I was testing. It slows you down, and it was terrible. On top of that, study. ASVAB books are great practice. The roommate that I was with did have one. I definitely recommend that. Make sure you pack light. You know, you're gonna be there for only a night. You don't need to pack anything crazy. So, that was my Meps experience. I hope you enjoyed watching. I hope it wasn't too boring. Yeah, that's it. Bye, guys.
Can we pretend that airplanes in the night sky like